Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Barely Inbound. Hey, Dave, second playoff out of the way, and boy, we have a really exciting playoff for once with the Deutsche Bank being the way it came through.
Hey, the FedEx Cup is panning out a lot better than I might have given it credit. You've got Tiger still in the thick of things, Steve Stricker playing great, all four major winners in the thick of things, Phil Mickelson's there, Harrington's there. The only guy really missing from the formula right now is Vijay Singh.
Well, Vijay just hasn't played very well, and that's the whole purpose of this playoff system. If you don't play well, you're left behind. You play really well. Look at Padraig Harrington. He had a tough time even making it into the playoff system, and he's already into high up. So it's really working. Everybody likes the way it's going, and who knows? We had Steve Stricker win. Third time he's won since he won at Colonial. What do you think
Player
of his
of the year?
play?
What do you think? Is he a Player of the Year candidate?
Well, quite frankly, if he wins the FedEx Cup, that would be very high up on everybody's list of winning Player of the Year. Yeah, he has 3 victories to Tiger's 5, but if he could win the FedEx Cup, I think that's going to happen. But you know what? Quite frankly, if you look at his stats and everything, statistically he wasn't that great at the Deutsche Bank. You just kind of wonder, how did he win?
Well, he's just become very comfortable with himself. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't mind being in the spotlight with some of the big players now, and he's finding himself. And as for Player of the Year, any other year, if he would win the FedEx Cup, and even so far, I tend to like the guys who aren't Tiger, because Tiger's expected to be the Player of the Year. So if somebody makes a big move on him, he gets my vote. Well, this year is a little bit different because Tiger's coming off of the injury.
Well, and then on top of that, Tiger's really not played very well. Everybody is wondering, he flies up on Wednesday.
Not played very well. He's won 5 times, Sal.
Well, he's going to play, if you could believe it, from the British Open to the Tour Championship. He's going to play 8 times in 11 weeks. That's phenomenal. That's unbelievable for Tiger. We're also very happy that he's back there because he's really helped bring golf to a new level, rating-wise, attention-wise, and things along those lines.
Remember a few months back when Tim Fincham was trying to get guys to play more often, and everybody was kind of on Tiger's case because he doesn't play in that many events? Well, he's really risen to the occasion. I got to give the guy credit.
Absolutely. We do have to give him a lot of credit. And you know what? I wonder if all of a sudden he hasn't played up to, Tiger standards. His putting has been a little astray and things like that. He's also getting criticized for a lot of, potty mouth, a lot of club throwing and things like that. But boy, I'll tell you, his 63 yesterday, he showed us a lot, don't you think?
Oh, I was stunned when I went online and I saw that he was, 6 under through 7 holes, I believe. And boy, he doesn't give up, Sal. The guy never gives up.
He's going to make it very interesting. Hey, we got to go to the President's Cup. We just had the announcements of the teams. What do you think? Couples picked Hunter Mahan and Lucas Glover, and then, Greg Norman's choice. What do you think of the choices?
Well, Couples certainly is no surprise. You can't leave the U.S. Open champion off of there. And I like Hunter Mahan. I mean, the guy has gone, he's played in President's Cup and Ryder Cup before, and his record is, 4-3-3 in those two combined. So the guy will get you some points. No quibbles there at all.
Yeah, but come on, let me ask you one thing. What about Dustin Johnson, who finished 4th at Deutsche Bank? What about Brian Gay, who's won twice? Do you think that maybe they would have been better choices, or is it just one of these things where you kind of just throw your hand up in the air and you go, hey, Hunter Mahan's the guy?
No, I agree with Couples in this one because I believe that Mahan is more of a proven commodity in that type of format. So, again, no quibbles with that whatsoever.
Now,
but
what
everybody, Adam Scott himself said that his pick was somewhat unexpected. Now, there's the understatement of the year.
Well, unexpected? The guy's played like trash all year. Other than his great, start of the year where I think he finished 2nd at Sony, he's played like doo-doo. The rest of the year, he's just been terrible. I think he's only made 4 cuts in the last 12 tournaments a year. He has problems with his right knee. Matter of fact, after Barclays, he went back home to Australia. He was going to have surgery. Do you think that when he got the phone call, he was a little shocked?
Oh, absolutely. It's a mystifying pick, although you go back in history and you look at the international captains, they have a tendency to sort of be homers. In 1996, Peter Thompson took Peter Sr. over Shigeki Maruyama, who was rated a couple of spots higher than him. In 98, Thompson passed over Frankie Minoza of the Philippines, who was number 12 for Frank Nobilo and Greg Turner, and Turner, of course, being an Aussie. And in 2005, Gary Player, of course, goes with Roy Sabatini over Trevor Immelman over KJ Choi and Maruyama.
You know what? The thing is that Greg Norman did say that he wants, he liked Adam Scott in the team room. Adam Scott is really a good team player. He really gets the players going and things like that. But
he better be, because he's not going to get them many points.
He's playing like trash. Don't you think a guy like maybe Jeev Milken Singh or even a Michael Sim would have been a perfect pick, because he's played so good on the Nationwide Tour, and quite frankly, it would have been nice to see him on the world stage all of a sudden.
Both of those guys, and it's interesting, he went all the way down to number 20 on that list to get Ishikawa. And I think Ishikawa is something of a shrewd choice.
It's a very good choice. He's played well in the last couple of weeks.
You look at the future of this event, too. And with all the interest that's developing in golf in Asia, you have Yang winning the PGA Championship, you have this kid winning the U.S. Amateur, you have the Olympics coming. The President's Cup has the potential, I never thought I would say this, but the President's Cup has the potential of surpassing the Ryder Cup in global interest in a few years.
Absolutely. I think the Ryder Cup next year is going to be a complete disaster. It's going to be played in a dump over in Wales. It's really not that great of a golf course. The weather's going to be bad the first week in October. And come on, what a pompous ass Colin Montgomery is. Telling people like Padraig Harrington, oh, well, you're going to have to play in this event and that event and things like that. I really am completely, and I know my European friends and my British friends are going to say, you're the pompous ass, but I'm really down on the Ryder Cup. I don't think the Ryder Cup's going to be that interesting, and I'm kind of excited about the President's Cup. Matter of fact, so excited, I'm thinking of going out to San Francisco to watch it for the week, because I really think that's the in thing to do now, the President's Cup over the Ryder Cup.
Well, maybe Monty, he's just trying to be a little bit of a moron to generate a little bit of interest in this thing.
We had Nick Faldo, who was a pompous ass. We have, Colin Montgomery. Get somebody in there like a Freddie Couples or a Greg Norman that are nice, calm people. Know it's just a game. Go out, have a good time, have fun. Don't make this the war of the worlds and things like that. And, I think, Corey Pavin's no problem. But, Colin Montgomery I've got a huge problem with. Hey, in the time left with us, we got to talk a little bit about Phil Mickelson. As we're doing this tape, it looks like he's going to play in the BMW Championship. He's flying on Wednesday morning, going to play in the Pro-Am. What do you think of him possibly not playing?
Well, if he doesn't, I think that tells you one of two things. A, something's not right at home. Things aren't going well with Amy or his mom. The other thing is, maybe he doesn't really care so much about the President or the FedEx Cup.
Well, he doesn't care about Cog Hill.
They hype the bejesus out of this thing, but the fact is, if it was such a big deal and they want to have stability for years to come, and they want it to be something that guys aspire to win, why do you name it off of a sponsor?
Well, you know what?
It should have been the Beeman Trophy or the PGA Cup or something like that.
Well, you know what? No matter. We're going to have the BMWs played at Cog Hill, renovated and everything. We'll talk about this next week when we have another edition of Barely Inbounds. Hey, Dave, it's been a slice of heaven. Talk to you next week.
So long, Sal.